to 5 Days Live, and today it's myself and Lynda West. Hello, Lynda.
Hi, Stephen. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Apart from the grey skies, everything is good, and we're looking today at creating a powerful presence. And that's something we should all be aiming for, isn't it? To actually have a presence that people recognise and they associate us with the topics that we have expertise on.
Yeah, I'm working on that.
Well, we're all working on it. We could name sort of people that have done that. We're sort of
Yeah.
several stages removed from them, but
hmm
we all have role models that we can sort of take some of what they do and bring it into our own fashion.
Exactly. Yeah, and don't be scared. This is going to be a really great topic that is going to maybe alleviate some stresses you might have related to live video. If you've never done any live video, we're here to help you to discover different ways to think about live video so that you'll actually push that live button. And if you've been doing live video and you haven't established your character, your who you are in front of the camera, then listen in and we're going to be able to help you with that as well.
Indeed, because we go live several times a week, and you go live. You've been live in Hollywood.
I
And
have.
there's got to be a story behind that.
Yeah, so I share that a little bit later in the broadcast, or do you want me to share that now?
No, that's good. That's good. As we've got people coming early to the show and watching the replay, would you like to talk a little bit about your Vote for Lynda campaign and how it comes about and what it means to you?
Sure. Thank you so much. Vote for Lynda. Oh my gosh. It's interesting because sometimes in life we're asked to do things or encouraged, highly encouraged to do things, and we have an option, right? You say yes or say no. So I ended up saying yes. One of my business coaches, he recommended that I sign up for a competition called the Next Impactor. And I was like, what is that all about? I'm not an impactor. I don't even know why I should do this. And come to find out that it's a cross between the Next Impactor is a competition. It's a cross between The Apprentice, The Voice, American Idol. It's kind of like a cross between all of those, where we have teams who are going through the process of challenges against each other to see which teams win. And then ultimately at the very, very end, people will get voted off of the island, like Survivor, will get voted off of the island. And in the very end, it'll be one impactor, one person who will be selected as the next impactor. So part of the process is we have our teams, but in addition, we have our individuals. So I'm an individual as well as on a team. And there's a voting process. And it's this whole long URL. It's like woobox.something.something.cloud, all this stuff. And I wanted to create an easy way for people to be able to vote for me, because every vote will count. And so I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to get a domain name called voteforlynda.com. And it was available. I was so excited. First, I was going to do Vote for Pedro, but that was already taken. So I did, voteforlynda.com. And it's just an easy way for me to direct people to vote for me. So here's the deal. The winner of the Next Impactor will win $500,000 worth of prizes. And the prizes are prizes that will get that person in front of larger audiences so that they can impact more people. So my mission, Stephen, is to help women discover their value and to help them to share their voice with the world. So this is one way that we help people share their voice with the world, is by being interviewed on our shows or by showing them how to start their own show. And so because of that, I want to win this competition. But at the beginning, I was like, this is a silly competition. I'm not interested. I'll just go in. But then once I made it to round 2 with the top 50 people, I made it to round 2. I was like, maybe I should actually try to win. So I put I'm all in it. I'm really in it to win it.
Well, you've got to be. You've got to be. Go for it, because it's an opportunity, isn't it? I mean,
yes.
When all else is said, there are times when you should sort of promote yourself, and this is definitely one of those occasions. And you said the 50 people, but you're currently in the top 10.
I am. I'm in 6th place. Oh my gosh. I started in 48th place. 48th place, and it's been about 3.5 weeks. I have a cheerleading squad, who's out there helping me to vote and to put my name out there and stuff. And then next thing I know, after 3.5 weeks, now we're in 6th place. So we're making our way. We have a uphill battle the last 5 places, but we're on our way. We're on our way.
Brilliant. I wish you every success with that. And
Thank
it's
you.
so easy to vote, and you can vote more than once, can't you?
Yeah, you can vote
That's important.
sometimes twice a day. It depends how the algorithms are with the whole site, but some people vote twice a day, and it's really awesome. So the whole point on this, Stephen, I think, because the topic that we have today is that, this is one way that I'm bringing my presence out there. And this is one way where people can get to know me for who I am. Other than just my business, there's something else about me. This is like a fun competition that, like again, I have this cheering squad, and the cheering squad has become, they're so important to me. And I'm not like taking advantage of them, but they want to be part of this. And so it's really cool, right? So I've created a sort of following in this Vote for Lynda thing, and it's cool because you have opportunities to do stuff like this if you are willing to put yourself out there. You have to be willing to put yourself out there, though.
Very true. But you're actually team building, aren't you?
Yeah, it was on accident.
Well, that's the best way for things to happen accidentally,
Yeah.
because you're building a group of people who are happy to help and assist, and it's a two-way street, because down the road, if they've got a problem, they can come to you, and if you can help, you will. So it's a virtuous circle, isn't it? It's not just driving towards one particular goal. After that goal, other things will follow.
Yeah, definitely. And sometimes we don't know how we're going to get to the end result, right? Sometimes we know what our goal is, but we don't know how we're going to get to the end result. And this is a perfect example of that. I have my goal in mind. I don't know exactly how we're going to get there, but I have trust and faith that I am going to get there. And then there comes the times where you do actually have to sit down and plan and know, like, step by step what you're going to do. And I love to equate that to the difference between live video and pre-recorded video, because pre-recorded video, a lot of times you'll know exactly what topics you're going to cover, exactly how you're going to cover them. You can break up the video and do whatever you want to it with pre-recorded. But with live video, if mistakes happen or things happen, you just go with it. You go with the flow. You know what your end result is, but you hit that live button, and then at the end, you're like, whew, that was a stinker, but I did it. Have you ever had a stinker, Stephen? A stinker show? I have. Oh, I can't hear you.
This is live video. I muted myself.
There you go.
You gotta have the bad. I know you got to have the bad shows to actually appreciate the good. And we all make mistakes, and that's the beauty of live. That's one good reason for doing it, because there's an arena in which there are no second takes. When with a pre-recorded video, you can polish it and hone it and put a soundtrack to it and take out all the pauses and put an intro and an outro, and you get a very polished finished product.
And you can beat your head against the wall because it's like so much work.
Well, yeah.
It's a lot of work.
I mean, a lot of tools out there to actually help do it, but and there are occasions when it's necessary. But to do a live video, once you're comfortable being on camera, all you need to do is switch the camera on, and you could go live 24/7 if you were careful of that. But you point is that you can actually go live when you want, when you've actually learnt the trade, as it were.
Right.
Okay, to anybody who's watching on the live video hub, thank you. We appreciate your being here. If you're watching on a different page because of live cross posting, you'll find the link up above. And if you click the link up above my head, then you'll be able to join us and comment live on the show, on the page that Lynda and I are actually on at the moment. I'm hoping that live cross posting someday will actually work across pages, which would be good.
That'll be cool. Hey, Stephen, you want to share with us about your radio show that you just recently launched?
It's very good of you to mention that, Lynda. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear about this because
Right.
it's so amazing what you guys are doing.
This is all part of the fact that when you actually create a live video, there's a recording which stays there, and people will come along and watch it occasionally. You tend to find that most people watch a video in the first 48 hours, then it just disappears because Facebook doesn't want people to see it anymore, principally. But part of that live video is the soundtrack, the MP3, and the soundtrack can go to work on your behalf in different places. You can create the soundtrack and you've got a podcast. That podcast can go to anchor.fm, it can go to iTunes. What Live Video Hub Radio does is it takes that a stage further. Live Video Hub Radio is an international radio station broadcasting 24/7. And what we're offering free is the ability to upload 4 or 5 of your podcasts, to have a time allotted to you each day, and your podcasts can go out on the radio when you're not live. Now, let's give an example. Leanne in Adelaide, Australia, because we are international, her shows go out Monday and Tuesday. So she goes live on Monday and Tuesday on Facebook, and then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, she's on the radio. So in fact, she's doing 2 broadcasts, but she's actually broadcasting 5 days a week, 2 on video and 3 on the radio. And the service is free. What we're aiming to do is to have around 50 different broadcasters who are broadcasters on Facebook, but then become presenters on Live Video Hub Radio. And all you have to do is to send me, and you can do it by Facebook Messenger, send me a link to your audio. Now, you can send me the MP3s if you've got them on Google Drive. You can send me a link to the YouTube video if you've got the video on YouTube. And I will do the rest. I will download those audios, I'll upload them to a radio station, and then we'll agree a time you want to go out at, and we'll schedule them going forwards so that they go out on the days that you want at a set time, and everybody has their own slot. And what we're hoping to do is to start at 1 o'clock in the morning and go through to midnight and have every single hour full of either a podcast or independent music. Now, I was speaking to Lynda before the show about my search for indie music, and I began with a friend from the Blab days called Joe Leaka. And Joe Leaka has a video show which has been running 169 weeks. So he's got 169 shows, and I didn't expect. What I wanted to do was for Joe to say, "Well, can I promote your artists on the radio? You know, can you promote my artists on your radio show?" And I thought, well, that would be it. But he said, "No, you can have access to all the 169 shows." So we've got indie music on there. We've got a regular daily indie music show from Joe Leaka, who's a music teacher, and he manages Indie Plus, and they basically promote artists in their area, internationally in actual fact. And the show is a mixture of interviews and music, recorded music and live music, and it goes out now every day on my Video Hub Radio. So we're looking for podcasts, we're looking for musicians. If a musician is not signed to a record label, they're independent and they want more promotion, then they'll find it on the Live Video Hub Radio. And just to say, the cost is free, it doesn't cost anything. And Lynda's just volunteered to join us.
I'm excited. I think this is an awesome idea. I love the idea of having the time slots, because that makes it like that is real radio there. Whereas, you know, everybody uploading the same day or the same time or what have you. And I love the fact that you guys are doing this for free. Like, why? That's so cool.
I'm fortunate to be able to pursue. We're occasionally fortunate to pursue our passions. And this is one of mine. This has been an idea of mine since I was in my teens, let's say that. And I was DJ at a local club, and I thought one day I will be a DJ on the radio. Now, as it happens, I actually became an accountant, which is about as far from being a DJ as you can get,
Okay.
an accountant auditor. So that dream has been on the back burner for a while, but now it's starting to become true. And what we're actually doing is a win-win situation for everybody, because you've actually done the live video, people have watched you live, and now you're giving people a chance to actually listen to you wherever they are. They can listen in the car, they can listen while jogging. It's a lot easier to listen to audio than it is to actually watch the video. And if you watch past the video, then you can actually visualize as you're listening that people are talking. So that works rather well.
That's awesome. Thank you for putting that out there. I'm glad to be part of that. And it sounds very exciting. How do people apply to be on the radio show?
That's good. They can message me, or they can go, I've got a link, just happen to have a link, which is handy. And the link for the radio station, if you want to go and listen anytime you like, hopefully it will come up in a second. Facebook, yes, it is. There's the link to the radio station, and it is in test mode at the moment. So if you go over there, you will hear shows by people who broadcast live video on Facebook, and you can listen to the recordings of their shows. And also at some point we'll actually be putting the podcasts up there too, so you can listen to who you want when you want.
And then do the shows have to be a full hour, or how does that work?
Right. Thank you for the question. Basically, everybody has an hour's slot. So you go on at 4 p.m. or 8 p.m. And if your show is a full hour, no problem at all. If your show is only 40 minutes, then the remaining 20 minutes of the hour will be taken up by independent music.
Okay, so cool.
There'll be music playing after the show. So it doesn't matter whether your show is 20 minutes, 40 minutes, or an hour. If there is a gap, then it's filled by music. So people know that you're going to be on at 4 p.m. So they go to 4 p.m., listen to the end of the show. Then if they want, they can listen to music as well.
Yeah, the filler music, literally.
Exactly, definitely. Yeah, it is. It's going to. I can feel it. This is going to work. The reception so far has been good from broadcasters too, because it is the ability to repurpose your content. We're always going on about that. We're saying, well, you've done this live video. What are you going to do next? Are you going to put it on YouTube? Are you going to put it as a podcast? Do you want to go from Anchor.fm to iTunes with one set of content? And I'm going to do a broadcast in the Believers group tomorrow because when you say podcast, how do you get the podcast? From a video. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to go live in the Believers group tomorrow and explain how you get from a live video on Facebook to an MP3 file, putting that on Anchor.fm, creating an account, putting it on Anchor.fm, and then once you've done several episodes on Anchor.fm, they will send it to iTunes, and you will then be on iTunes. Your account is created automatically, so there's nothing to do. It's a very simple process, but it can be, if you've not done it before, it's daunting. So I'm going to go through that step by step tomorrow. I'm
looking forward to that because I don't have a podcast yet, and I'm really, really looking forward to that. Thank you. Yay!
Brilliant. So, I mean, this is all part of creating a powerful presence. You've got to be in as many places as you can, and obviously, there's only one of us, despite wishes. There's only one of us individually, so we can only do so much in a day. So if you can do a lot of things automatically, like doing the podcast, using repurpose.io as well, which we both use.
Yes.
I loved your interview the other day, by the way, with Annie.
Yeah, Annie's awesome.
He is awesome. Then if you can repurpose your content, then you're actually creating a presence on different platforms and being discovered. And this is a strange thing. I'm on Anchor.fm, which is free to use. They don't charge you a red cent. So you can go on to Anchor.fm, and then they will distribute it to different platforms, one of which is iTunes. And I have to say, I haven't done any promotion of it, but I get most of my listeners on iTunes.
Interesting.
Go figure. It is very interesting. And wherever you go, your website goes with you. Yeah. So if people want to know more, they will come and visit your website. So that's good as well.
So this is a good point you make there about, being like, to have your presence out there, right? One thing is, for example, if you do a live video, and just like Stephen was saying, that live video can be repurposed to his radio show. It can be repurposed to your own podcast. It can be repurposed to a blog. It can be repurposed to your website. And then there's programs out there like repurpose.io that will take the text out of there and turn it into a blog. There's so many different programs out there that can help you so that you don't have to do all the legwork to make this happen, to put yourself out there and to have your presence seen and heard. And really, that's what's going to make that impact that you want to make.
True.
You need to get out there.
Yeah, get out there. It's a gradual process, isn't it?
Yes.
To go from I've just started to I know some people know me, more people know me, and now I've got a team of people who work together like we do on 5 Days Live. 5 Days Live only happens because we're all involved, because we work as a team and we've got different people playing to their strengths each day of the week, and it's just been a blast this when we're together. It's always a blast, but it's been a blast Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday with David and Brigetti and Tina, and I know we both were. I was watching the show from the production center yesterday. We both barrack for everybody because we're actually cross promoting each other, and that's what works very well. Now,
right.
Talking about and we're able to make things come true. We can make things happen. Now, talking about making things happen, would you like to talk about for a moment? I just got a link somewhere. People working together. The Wishman premiere.
The Wishman. Thank you so much for bringing this up, because the Wishman movie is coming out. There's a book called The Wishman. And the Wishman movie is coming out, and this is really a collaboration of a bunch of people coming together to create this movie. It's the story of the founding of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Now, the Make-A-Wish Foundation has granted over 450,000 wishes for kids. Originally, it was for kids who were terminal, but now it's kids with that are not just terminal, but kids who are in dire need. I'm not sure the term exactly that Make-A-Wish uses, but the Make-A-Wish Foundation started with one wish. There was one person who had a wish, and Frank Shankwitz, who has become a great friend of mine, was the creator and co-founder of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So since that gentleman had one idea of, they granted this one wish, and he thought, maybe I should make something out of it, a foundation. So he created the Make-A-Wish Foundation. That was 40 years ago, more than 450,000 wishes ago. And here it is today, just a thriving nonprofit. It's known worldwide. Well, the founder of it, Frank, this gentleman that I know, his name is Greg, asked Frank one day, "What was your wish?" And Frank's like, "Nobody ever asked me my wish." And he said, "My only wish is that my story will be told so that my grandchildren will know that I actually did something important." Like, that was his wish. So Greg said, "Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to, take your life rights, and we're going to make a movie out of it." And that was a little over 5 years ago that whole thing moved into motion. And so in the process, what did they need? They needed money to fund it, money to hire the actors and location and all this stuff. And I raised my hand and I said, "You know what? I want to be part of this movie because it's such an incredible story." Once you see it on the picture, on the film, you'll see how amazing this story is and how this happened and how Make-A-Wish probably shouldn't have happened, but it did happen. And there's reasons I say that. But it's really, really great to be part of a film, but not only to be part of a film, but this film is one that when people watch this, like you're going to see how, and it's the we call the logo for it, or the tagline is everyone can be a hero. And by watching this film, you will see how everyone can be a hero, no matter what your circumstances are currently, no matter where you grew up, how you grew up, everyone can be a hero. And that's what happened to Frank. He was just some, young boy who grew up with other than good circumstances, and he ended up creating this nonprofit that really has changed so many people's lives. And so I'm honored and blessed to be part of it. The premiere of the movie is finally coming out. I mean, we've been looking at this for almost 2 years now. From the first day of filming to today is almost 2 years. And the film comes out as a premiere June 4th in Hollywood, California. And I'll be there, on the red carpet. I'm usually interviewing stars on the red carpet, but this time I'm going to be one of the stars on the red carpet. And I'm so excited about that. And then June 7th, it comes out to theaters worldwide. So here's an ask I will have of you, if you're watching this, is that if you are interested in having the film show in your town, all you need to do is let us know that you're interested in that. And then you need to have 35 people. You just need to promise that you can have 35 people show up at the theater to watch the film, and you can bring the film out to your town.
That's brilliant.
So I'll share really quickly. If you're interested, go to email Shannon, SHANNON, at gregreid.com. And that's GREGREID.com. And that's worldwide. It is only in English right now. So wherever it is, it needs to be shown, in English. But if you're interested, please reach out to us, because we're looking to have the film seen worldwide, of course. And it just so excited about it.
Right. Just to check the spelling before I actually release it into the wild. Shannon, SHANON.
2 N's, NNON.
I'm glad I checked.
Yes,
so,
yes.
And Greg, Reid, REID, reid.com.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so I'm going to post the email address, and as Lynda said, you just have to be able to sort of say that 35 people actually want to watch the film, and the film will come to your town. And it's getting a film distributed is not easy, is it? Because the big networks, how do you actually go about it? I mean, you're doing this one town at a time. You're doing that one town at a time. But how do you actually get a film distributed?
Well, I'm not involved in that process, but I've been privy to some of the stuff that goes on. And, I became an executive producer. It was when I invested in the film, I became an executive producer. So, they let us know some of the stuff going on behind the scenes. But yes, distribution. Oh my gosh, Stephen, you know what's crazy about that? I've heard this word distribution 4 times this week, this week alone. And how distribution is the key to our success. People who are, like artists, right? Music artists, if their music isn't distributed out worldwide, then they're not going to be heard. And so it's the same thing with our shows here. Like, we have this distribution channel called Facebook right now, but then there's also Instagram, there's Periscope, there's the blogs, there's the podcasts and all that. Those are all different distribution channels. But if you can get distribution on a channel that has millions of viewers or millions of listeners, then you're going to be out there in more eyeballs or more earballs, So same with the film. To find the right distributors is really key. So the team, I wasn't involved in any of this process, but the team, they spent months and months in meeting with different movie houses, meeting with MGM, meeting with, Lionsgate, meeting with all of those people, as many as they possibly can get in their door. And so really that came down to, like, who do you know? Who do you know who knows?
Yeah.
That was so much of that so that they can knock on those doors. Now, so many of the movie houses out there were interested in the film, but it didn't fit their demographic. But they're like, this is a great film, but it's not right for our audiences. So again, it's really important to know what you're doing and whose audience you fit with, because you might say, oh, I want to be on Ellen DeGeneres, but she might not have a fit for you because maybe your story doesn't fit for her audience, as an example. So right now we are actually looking at entering some of those indie movie competitions, like
right.
there's
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, so some of those, but as well as what was cool is Entertainment Tonight, or what's called Entertainment Weekly, did put our trailer out there. So the Wishman movie trailer is actually on YouTube at Entertainment Weekly. They're pushing it for us, which is great because now we're getting our eyes, our movie in front of a lot of people. So yeah, but distribution is key to your success. If you want to have mega success, it's just getting in those right distribution channels. Now, right here, we have cross-posting. That's your opportunity to get in front of other people's eyes that are not in your purview. So really looking at different ways that you can distribute your videos, whether it's live videos or recorded videos, looking at different ways that you can do that by partnering with different people. So, like the movie is one thing, right? But we're talking about live video, and how do you get yourself some distribution? You start reaching out to people and asking.
Do you know what? One of the most magical things I discovered this morning, because we're always learning, is that what happened. I'll tell you, this is a true story. True story. We do a show every Thursday morning at 10 a.m. in the UK, which is 2 a.m. Pacific.
2 a.m.
2 a.m. But it's 5 a.m. on the East Coast, and we do have friends on the East Coast who come and watch and join in and comment, which is absolutely brilliant. But one of our friends in England, in Brighton, Claire, actually was watching the video on Facebook as normal, but the video kept restarting. Don't ask us why. It kept, instead of actually, she came in 12 minutes into the show, and the only thing it was showing to her was the beginning of the video. So she refreshed and tried again, and she refreshed and tried again. And no matter what she did, she couldn't watch the video live. She's always behind the scenes. Now, obviously, Facebook is playing up, so it's a gremlin, it's a bug, it's a feature. But Claire, being Claire, wanted to watch the show. So what she did was Claire went and she created a watch party. And the watch party worked first time, and she was able to watch the show live. Yeah. But the interesting thing is that the watch party was going on whilst we were live too. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a live watch party. Do you know what happened? Our viewing figures quadrupled.
Whoa! From her watch party?
As a direct result of the watch party, because people saw the watch party, clicked on the video and came across to watch us on the live stream. So tip of the day is, if you can get a friend to start a live watch party when you go live, then you will quite simply get more viewers, because Facebook like watch parties. So Facebook promote watch parties. So a watch party goes into your friend's timeline, and their friends can see it, and their friends can join in, and their friends might never have seen you before. And we got compliments this morning from people that have not seen us before. And this was show 176. So we've been going 3.25 years, and we still haven't met everybody. So if you want to increase your reach, if you want to help somebody, run a watch party, because it will have a greater reach than going from a Facebook page. And what's more is people do cross over from the watch party to the live show and comment. And we saw that in action this morning. I was blown away by the effect that it had. So what I did in the Believers group this morning was to post and say, look, one of the most effective ways to reach a new audience is to get a friend to watch the show on watch party whilst you're live.
That's fantastic. And the watch party is easy. I remember the first time I did it, I I'm not scared, but I was like, how do I do this? This is really weird. And then it's so simple. You just hit the post button and the watch party thing pops up. You click on that and then you select a video to share. I mean, it's so simple.
It is. They've made it so easy to do. I mean, it's a purple button, so you can't miss it.
Yeah.
You click the purple button, and the watch party starts. And it's basically, it then gets advertised effectively to all your friends. So
And what's cool too about a watch party is that,
yeah,
let's say, for example, you're doing a watch party on a previous video because you're like, oh, this was a really, like, for example, I interviewed Frank Shankwitz and a young woman, I can't remember her name right now, Jennifer, she actually is in the opera, or I guess it's called an opera, Phantom of the Opera,
mm-hmm.
on Broadway in New York. That's what her job is. And so I ended up interviewing the two of them because she created a nonprofit called Hearts for Broadway. Shoot,
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the name of it. Darn it. But anyway, they go into hospitals and they sing Broadway songs to the kids
Wow.
who are in the hospitals. And so she started this nonprofit. So anyway, I interviewed the two of them. It was really an amazing interview, and I want to share this one. And I want to keep sharing it. So I saved it on my video, so it's easy for me to find. And then I go and I do a watch party for it, every couple of days or so. And the views keep going up on that, and it's just an amazing interview. And I want to make sure I share it. So that's one way you can use a watch party, is for previous things you've done.
Brilliant. And Facebook likes them. Facebook is not. Facebook likes watch parties, so therefore we should like watch parties.
Yeah.
And the more watch parties there are, more people will get involved, and you will be actually creating a powerful presence. And Lynda and I were talking before the show. Creating a powerful presence on live video is always going to be a work in progress.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got to be working towards basically getting better with each show and getting your message out there and being consistent in doing it. And one of the things is to have a consistent presence, is to go out at a regular time, isn't it? Simple.
Yeah. I don't do that, but I know, but it does work. It really does work. I haven't figured out that consistent time yet. But I'll share something that I did this for 2 years, Stephen, every single day for 2 years. And the reason I'm sharing this is because the presence it gave me on Facebook, it really surprises me. Just put it that way. For 2 years in a row, every single day, I sang happy birthday to every single one of my Facebook friends. So every single day I'd get on and I'd say, here's your happy birthday video. And I did that for 2 years. Okay, now I stopped doing it. The last time I did it was in 2017. So December 31st of 2017 was the last time I did that, a year and a half ago. Just yesterday, one of my friends was on a live video interview. So I hopped on to watch and I was commenting. And the host of the show said, "Oh my God, it's Lynda Sunshine West. That's so awesome. She sings happy birthday to all of her Facebook friends. It's been a year and a half since I've done it, but she still thinks I do it."
Well, you don't know this, but that's your happy birthday videos is one of the ways in which we first connected, because you were doing them. Well, It is. I watched some of the videos back in the day when you were doing them, and as the lady just told you, it's it's an idea that stays with you, and the fact that you were reaching out to people and helping. Because one of the things about live video is that we are able, we do some self promotion, and that's basically a small part of it. A large part of what we do is promoting others and helping others. And that's what the birthday videos did, because you're actually not only acknowledging the presence of the person, you're actually letting other people know about them. You're letting your friends know about them. You're actually sharing that video, not with just the one person, but with your full circle of friends. Now, you've got one advantage over me, Lynda. You can sing. So, yeah. In fact, you gig, don't you?
I do. Yeah, we're on a hiatus right now. Yeah, I play bass guitar in a rock band. I I love it. I learned bass guitar when I was 47 years old, and because I had wanted to play it almost not my whole life, but for a long time. And so I asked my husband, I said, teach me how to play bass guitar and let's form a rock band. So he did. Yeah. So
Right.
awesome.
Now, talking of rock and stardom, you were in Hollywood earlier this year
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I
on the
was
red carpet.
on the red carpet, the Academy Awards red carpet. This is the second year I've done it, and it's so amazing. This time was really interesting. The last time was interesting too, don't get me wrong, but this time was interesting because there was this gentleman that many people might know named Wesley Snipes. You know, he's been, I think he has Academy Awards, but he's an amazing actor. And he was coming down the red carpet, and I told my videographer, I was like, we're going to interview Wesley Snipes if nobody else. Like, he's the only one I want to get, right? So I was going to make sure that happened. So there he was, standing there about 2 or 3 people away from me, being interviewed by somebody. And then when he was getting closer, I was like, oh my gosh, here he comes, here he comes. And then he walked right past me and went to like 3 more people down the other way. And I stood there, I was like, I am getting this interview.
What? You dare?
So what happened was he was being interviewed first by this person over here, and then by this person over here, 3 people away. And then I had a game plan. My game plan is, okay, the second he stops, I'm going to bring him over. So I did. So he finished his interview there. I grabbed his arm and I pulled him down. 3 people. I pulled him over to me and I said, it's my turn, like that. And I interviewed him. And it was so cool. Like, because I knew what I wanted. And I love to tell this story because in the old days, like a year ago or 2 years ago, I would have just let him go by and said, oh, I missed my opportunity. That was it, But now it's like, no, 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 no. I missed my opportunity, but I'm going to now seize the next opportunity. And that next opportunity was when he took that last breath to finish that interview. I'm just going to pull him over. And so I did it. I literally grabbed that opportunity. And so often in life, we let opportunities slip us by and we let them continue to slip by. But really, it's our job to get what we want. If there's something you want out there, you got to go out there and grab it. And that was a clear indication of how you grab it. I literally grabbed him.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Right. Wonderful. Now, catching up with the comments, I'll come back to that in a moment. Wesley Snipes is the Blade movies.
Yes.
And just to, Kelly is also saying, which is true, Angelica sang Happy Birthday to Stephen once in German. And that was back on February 22nd when it was my birthday. And
Cool.
Angelica sang the song twice, which was brilliant.
Nice.
And Corinda's with us. Say hello to Corinda. And what's the difference between watch party and everything else? That's a good question, Corinda.
Well, I'll share another thing I like about Watch Party that I forgot to say is that you can, especially if you're broadcasting a previous video with Watch Party, you can actually watch the party live with everybody else watching. So if people have comments during your Watch Party, you can comment on those.
Yeah.
And it increases, like Stephen said, it increases the number of views from your original video. But what happens, and Stephen, I'm not sure exactly how this happens, but now Watch Party is only live, right? Because once the Watch Party is done, nobody else can watch it again because I guess the party is ended. Is that correct?
Right. What happens is, and I discovered again this morning because I followed up on what Claire did, is that the Watch Party, you can end it, you can stop it yourself. If you don't stop it, then what happens is it runs for another 30 minutes to an hour. So anybody finding afterwards can actually watch part of it. So that's good too. So a watch party, Corinda, if you see a live video and on the left-hand side, it's got a purple badge. If you press the purple badge, you can start a watch party. Now, you can't do it on every video, but given the number of videos that you do watch, Corinda, if you want to watch a video with friends, then you don't have to do anything other than press the purple button. The watch party will start, and your friends will be told that you're watching a particular show, and they'll be given the link and they can come and join you. So if you want to have a chat with friends, it's like a water cooler. You can just get around the water cooler, which happens to be the video replaying, and you can chat with friends whilst you're listening to a Facebook video. And you can either do that on the recording or live. So give it a whirl and let us know how it works out.
Yeah.
Right.
It's fun. It's fun when you see people tuning in because you've started a watch party. It's a lot of fun.
Right. Now, I normally ask you this question at the top of the show, and I'm remiss in not doing it because we actually got off to we hit the ground running. But my question today is, where are you today, Lynda?
Today I am in Alpine, California. It's almost 8 a.m. here, and this is my backyard. I live. My husband and I are currently living in a local campground, and we bought an RV and are living the RV life. I love it. It's so beautiful. We walk outside. You open the door. Sometimes we see deer, and it's snake season. So I did hear that there was a snake found, like 3 rattlesnake found about 2 weeks ago, up on the hill there. So we're, watching out for snakes, but, we see all kinds of wildlife out here. It's so beautiful. I love it. I love it.
Right. Now, everything we've talked about so far is free or a reasonable cost. But if you want to actually build a presence, create a powerful presence, irrespective of the platform, you do need to invest not only time, but you've actually got to promote, haven't you? With money.
Yes. Yeah. If you want to, those videos that go viral, and I heard this just recently, actually, there's videos that go viral, right? 1 million views or whatever. Most of those videos are ad spend. So people have actually spent money to push those videos out there to larger audiences. And so it's not like, oh, I'm going to create a viral video. No, it doesn't work that way. But you might create a video that goes viral on accident, or you might create a video that goes viral because you put some ad money against it. So it's all in what you want. But yeah, putting time, it does take time.
It does, yeah.
This isn't set it and forget it.
That's Annie Murray's saying. Yeah. You can't set and forget. You've got to be doing something every day, haven't you?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. You got to put yourself out there. And one thing I'm discovering is that there's a saying I love, and that's slow down to speed up. So a lot of us are living these, like hamster wheel lives, right? Where we just go, 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 go. I'm a great example of that. Somebody just go, 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 instead of taking time to turn the stuff I've already done into meaningful, and where it will be seen by more people, or it's more valuable. And so that's one thing I'm working on currently, is to slow myself down, because I am a go-getter. I am an action taker, but sometimes the action I take is not the smartest action, because I am an action taker without thought. But then there are those people who are, what do they call them? They get paralyzed, analysis paralysis, where they analyze things to death and they never take any action. So there's the two complete polar opposites, right? So the in between, getting that balance. That balance is, if you're the person who's the analysis paralysis person, sometimes you gotta like take a chance and not overanalyze things and go out there and push it out. Those who are the action takers, sometimes you got to slow down a little bit, do a little bit of analysis, and then make sure you go in with thoughtful posts, thoughtful videos. And so that's where I am, is learning, teaching myself and learning how to slow down so that I can speed up. I say it all the time, I do slow down, but it's still not with the thought that I need to come up with to help me create that valuable product. That, I still think I have value, but it could be much more valuable if I slow down and to speed up.
Right. Okay. Now, as you're joining us towards the end of the show, it is an opportunity to help each other. In this particular case, we can help Lynda. And Lynda, if you'd just like to explain what Vote for Lynda is about, and then we can round off the show.
Thank you so much, Stephen. This is awesome. Totally unexpected. Thank you so much. There's a competition I'm in called the Next Impactor. And what that Next Impactor will do for me and for my mission, which is to help women discover their value and share their voice with the world. That's my mission. 5 million women is who I want to help, Stephen. And it's because I believe women's voices have been stifled far too long. I don't blame men for this. I blame the women for this because they have allowed themselves to stifle their voice. I was one of these. I was in the back of the room. I was too scared to talk until one day I discovered that, oh my God, I actually have some value. It's time for me to share my voice. Because of that, I want to help other women do the same because the amount of confidence that I gained through this process is absolutely amazing. It's the confidence that I gained that was able to have me able to reach to Wesley Snipes and pull him over and interview him because it's what I wanted. It wasn't anything else other than me learning to have confidence because I didn't before. So anyway, with that, when I win, I was going to say if, but when I win the Next Impactor, your votes count. Every single vote counts. You can vote daily. You can vote once a day. Sometimes you can vote twice a day. I had one woman tell me just yesterday, she said, I voted four times yesterday. Like, whoa, that's so awesome, right? But what I will win is a prize package valued at $500,000. It's all services like coaching, as well as me having opportunities to be on some of these big platforms, like to be in maybe an Entrepreneur magazine or Inc. magazine. So that's what that's what the prize is. This will give me an opportunity to be in front of more eyes, more ears, so that I can help more women to discover their value and share their voice with the world. So go to voteforlynda.com. I really appreciate it. And Stephen, thanks so much for bringing that up. I had no idea you were going to do that. So thank you.
And a thank you to Kelly, who's actually just voted.
Thank you. One more vote. I love it.
You've got to go for it. And I admire you for doing that. And because you do help a lot of people. I know you have the groups that you run. You help people on a personal basis every single day of the week, and I just want to help you for a change by helping you do well in this competition. And as you say, your aim is to win it, and if you don't want to win it, then you shouldn't be there, and you do, and you're in 6th place at the moment, hot on the heels of 5th place, and you could reach for the stars. That's what we should all be doing. Because when you create a powerful social presence, then you can do anything that you want. And you get there by being positive, by helping others to be positive, and by putting your best foot forward. And to close today's show, Lynda, as is tradition, because would you like to close the show?
Oh, sure. Thank you. Yeah, Stephen and I used to do a show called Just Do It. And so we talked a lot about, different kinds of fears, because often fear is what's holding you back from doing the things you want to do, from living the life you truly, truly want to live. Now, in 2015, I faced a fear every single day. I wrote a book called The Year of Fears. I'm not promoting the book. I'm just sharing that fear is what helped me, facing those fears is what helped me to do all these things that I'm doing today. Everything I'm doing today is a result of that year of fears. So I would highly recommend, facing a fear today, maybe tomorrow, not every day for a year. That's a long time, but put yourself out there, put yourself into positions that you're doing things that you're not normally doing. They're out of your comfort zone. I like to say, instead of stepping outside of your comfort zone, enlarge the size of your comfort zone. Make your comfort zone larger and larger and larger. By doing that, you just will be doing so many more things than you are doing today. And not only that, you'll be living the life that you truly want to live, but you're too scared to live. So go out there and just do it.
That's a good title. It was a good title for the show. We'll have to bring that show back.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, to everybody who's joined us, as Lynda said, thank you very much. Back tomorrow with myself and Brigetti, and same time, which is 10 a.m. Eastern. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.
Bye. Have a good day.
Bye. And